So what if everyone was right? What if everyone out there, and yourself included, has special gifts that only you can give the world? And what if you had a place whose explicit mission was to help you in allowing those gifts to flourish? And through the right kinds of community and relationship practices, these truths can be seen. Would this be the kind of community that you'd want to support? Hi, I'm Robert MacNaughton, Executive Director of the Integral Center. And so many people in my life have been asking me why we're doing this. So before we get into how you can support us in this endeavor, Decker and I are going to talk about why we're inspired, and we're going to share all of the ideas that we have and plans that we have.
We're clear that if we actually bring all of our gifts together in this building, we're all going to thrive for it. And that's the best marketing we could have, to have this place well used and thriving. Thank you.
Our vision is to have this place alive, buzzing, where people are coming in first thing in the morning and there are people practicing conscious evolution in how they say good morning, let alone the Zen sitting going on in the meditation room, or the yoga, or the Kung Fu, from all lines of development, supporting each other and making sure that we're living it day to day.
Yeah. And Decker and I have been passionate and geeks about philosophy and integral theory for years, and we love it, and that's going to be a part of it, but it's not required. The Integral Center is going to be about actually showing up and living these practices.
Balancing between theory and practice. And I am clear that there are people who, by living integral principles in their relationships, have been blown away and blown open, and their lives will never be the same in a great way. And they never had to understand the maps to actually dive into the territory. And the impulse to evolve is latent in any moment. And the best thing the community can do to support each other in growing is to be more intimately with each other right where we're at, moment by moment.
Right. So deeply embodying these principles, practicing them, living them in our lives with each other, and being crystal clear about what we're doing.
We're not here just as a dojo or conscious sangha to support each other in practicing and growing. We're actually trusting each person's own natural unfolding by being really with each other where we're at. There's at least as much attention on connection with each other as there is on challenging each other to grow or supporting each other to grow, which ironically is what I've found to be the most potent recipe for us to grow, is regularly practicing integral intimacy with each other right where we're at, moment by moment.
Yeah, I mean, this is really an incubator for integral community development. We're taking the best practices that culture has to offer and bringing them into this petri dish so that we can explore and work with them and grow ourselves through it, and to serve our communities better, to serve our families better, and inevitably to serve the world better.
That we're not just coming together in community to practice this stuff, but the experience of being in relationship is the practice.
Yes. That's where the rubber really hit the road for me, encountering the relational practices and what you had been working with for so long in San Francisco, that's where it finally met me in such a more direct way. As I start thinking about it, what else happens in life outside of relationship, right? Relationship with myself, relationship with all those people in my life. And so if, at the end of the day, if I want my practice, if I want where I'm committing my time to serve anything, then I want it to serve my relationship with my mom and my dad and my brother and the people in my life that maybe aren't interested in those things, or just have their own ways that they're committed to serving the world's needs, the world's greatest needs, with their greatest gifts. And for me, this is more in alignment with what I have to bring, and I'm now feeling more than ever that I have that opportunity to meet them in a way that's where my heart starts to crack open around it, that I can actually be there for my family, that I can actually show up.
Every person and every perspective is honored, and we can evolve to become more wise, more loving, and more inclusive of all perspectives, all cultures, all religions. The Integral Center is called Integral Center for a reason. The integral philosophy is the most evolved map for how we can develop and support honoring and loving each other more. And the fact that it has so far focused on something amazing, capitalizing on the first opportunity in history to really learn from all cultures, all religions, all traditions throughout history, and find the best and the most resonance among all of them, and have that map, awesome. the fact that it hasn't been focused on really living and applying it, driving me nuts. And what I have found is that when people actually come together in community based on living these fundamental practices together and letting the experience of being in community be a practice, people grow like crazy and their lives skyrocket from it. And it's anything but theoretical and thought-provoking. It's raw and juicy and alive. And I want this amazing building, I want this 13,000 square feet to be donated, to be focused on, live it so that it actually ripples out where people are around the globe are actually supporting the evolution of consciousness.
Yeah, there's a lot of intensity, a lot of urgency in the world right now, and frankly, I'm ready to show up with what I believe can help, at least a little bit. I'm tired of talking about it so much, and I'm committed to meeting the world with what I personally have to offer. And first, I have to get intimate with what I have to offer before it can help anybody. And that's why I want that for myself here at the Integral Center. And I imagine that you might want that too.
So, yes, we're talking about saving the world and integral philosophy in a Kickstarter campaign. And this is for people who want to be involved. When you hear the evolution of consciousness, that sounds like something inspiring to you, not something theoretical or heady, but something real. If you're someone that resonates with that and wants to be a part of that, this is an opportunity to help create it.
And so this is first and foremost a community center. This is a place where families can show up and be with their kids while they're pursuing their own development paths and practicing yoga. We had the launch party this past weekend, and there were kids running around all the place having dance-offs, and it was really amazing. So we're building the Integral Center as a place where people can come in explicitly to uncover their personal gifts so that they can share it for a world, and in my experience, a world that's crying out for these gifts to be shared with them. And so if you're out there and you're wanting, even for a place somewhere on earth that's happening, where people in these positions can incubate these higher values, this is a place that you can support, and eventually you can have one in your community, and you can come out here and discover more yourself. We all have a responsibility to meet the world's greatest needs with our greatest gifts. And I imagine that you're doing that in your own unique ways. Why I'm inspired by this new project, the Integral Center, is a place where I can actively do that every day, all day, so that I can show up for my family, I can show up for my community, and eventually I can show up for the world. We're personally committed to this happening, and we're representing a community of people here in Boulder that are really passionate about this. And if you're inspired by this at all, come pay us a visit. Send us an email with your support, well wishes, or your concerns or your questions. And also, there's a whole list of levels of ways that you can support us financially, which would really help us. We can use all the support we can get at this point, and we've got lots of fun perks that we've made to meet you there. And this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of challenge. And thanks for just watching this video, taking the time to hear about what we're doing out here. We're excited about it, so thank you.